In 1805, the Lewis and Clark expedition discovered the riches of Oregon's Columbia River Gorge and the towering volcanic mountains that surround it. Now, one of the best ways to see the beauty of this area is on board our next train, the Mount Hood Scenic Railroad. The railroad's depot is located about 70 miles east of Portland in the town of Hood River, which is situated in the heart of the Columbia River Gorge. This beautiful area has a history as rich as its fertile volcanic soil. Though humans have inhabited the valley for over 10,000 years, these striking vistas were new to pioneers Lewis and Clark when they crossed the mouth of the Hood River back in 1806. Our journey through this stunning wilderness begins in Mount Hood's railway station, which is listed on the National Register of Historic Places.
A wonderful part about the Mount Hood Railroad experience is it begins from this historic depot. It's over 100 years old and looks like it did when it was built in 1911.
How we doing there, buddy? 509 up the steps and to the right-hand side.
Passengers board this trip just as they did out of this depot over 100 years ago. The only difference today is the equipment you'll be riding in. The railroad's signature cars and most sought after are the domes. Here you're treated to luxury and expansive views of the valley and two volcanic peaks, Mount Adams and Mount Hood.
The dome car is great, though. You get a beautiful view of the mountains, and it's a gorgeous day, and it's just everything's so crystalline and beautiful. It's just a lovely day.
It gives them an opportunity to see a railroad in a different view. I think we're always very low to the ground, so when you're up on an upper dome, it's a free will type of feeling.
You'll also catch that free will spirit on the back of the parlor car, which provides unobstructed views of Mount Hood.
It looked absolutely beautiful. It looked like a painting on a wall. It just looked absolutely spectacular.
Mount Hood is just one of the many highlights on this trip. Just outside of Hood River, you get to travel through one of the only 4 switchbacks left in the United States, commonly referred to as a zigzag.
Read about these things, you hear about it on television and movies and what have you, but you get to experience it. We romanticize these times, and you get to feel what it was like when people were actually living this way. I find it very relaxing. It takes away the pressure of the modern world, if you will. Get a chance to just kick back and watch the scenery go by. Very pleasant.
You have 22 miles to take in all the wonders this trip has to offer, as the train worked its way up to the farming community of Parkdale. Here, passengers enjoy a nice layover at the base of Mount Hood. Some have a picnic lunch. Others head into town for a bite to eat at one of the local restaurants. Then it's back on board for a return trip to Hood River. The Parkdale excursion is just one of the many different trips offered by this railroad.
Do we have to shake you upside down to get that money out of you?
If you're looking for an adventure for the whole family, the Western train robbery trip is just the ticket.
That's not money, that's a tablet. She spent her money on the tablet.
Today's modern gadgets and gizmos can prove mighty confounding for an old-time crook. But for these hardened outlaws, all that matters is cold, hard cash.
Where's your money?
I don't have any.
What do you mean you don't have any?
With persistent and experienced bandits on board, most passengers lay low, waiting for the sheriff to bring justice. But once in a while, a brave soul will take matters into his own hands.
No! Stay back!
He ended up getting the gun back from one of the bad guys, held him at bay for quite a while. Then when the bad guy wanted his gun back, he ended up just bartering with him and got all of his money plus, I'd probably say half of the car's money back for the gun before they made their escape. He did a great job. We're proud of him. He saved the day.
If the commotion of a high-stakes robbery and chaos isn't quite what you're looking for, the railroad offers a more soothing and sophisticated option for those looking for a quiet evening out on the rails. The dinner train is a favorite for many, especially those looking to spend some quality time with a special someone or a group of good friends. The railroad cooks up a delicious 4-course meal and provides one of the most scenic backdrops to enjoy it in, just outside your window.
I had the salmon, and it tasted like it came right out of the Columbia River. The dinner was excellent. I had a wonderful time here. This has been a very, very relaxing and enjoyable trip. I've never seen this part of the country, and it's pretty.
No matter what train you decide to board in Hood River, you'll leave from the same historic depot, see the same beautiful views, zigzag through the same rare switchback, and explore the very same mountain valley that Lewis and Clark did over 200 years ago.
It's a neat bit of history. It's something that's gone away from our travels. We tend to jump in something that goes fast and gets us there without a whole lot of scenery, and it's nice to be able to travel in a style where you can see where you're going through.
It's a great experience to be on this train. I've enjoyed it very much. It's such a special place. I don't think there's any place like this in the rest of the country. It needs to be preserved.